Great Al Bernstein blessing us with some of his analysis tonight. Great award given out, by the way, tonight by the House of Boxing. Great to see a Hall of Famer like yourself still giving back to the amateur program.
Well, yeah. I think amateur boxing is important for so many different reasons, not just because it provides all these great professional boxers. In fact, that's the least of its importance. Amateur boxing changes people's lives, young men and women, and helps them become better citizens, oftentimes giving them the focus to be a good citizen, and it's done that for a lot of people. A billion years ago, I wandered into a gym at the southwest side of Chicago in the Park District, and was one of those kids looking for a chance to box, and I remember that feeling like it was yesterday, and so I know what these young people feel like when they go in, and you want to hope that they have the right safety equipment, which is part of what House of Boxing Champions is providing, and you want to hope that they have a chance to succeed.
All along, Al Bernstein was a badass from the south side of Chicago.
I don't know how much of a badass I was. I'll tell you a quick story. Tony Zale, the great middleweight champion came by. Our coach knew him, and he would come by and sometimes watch us train and give suggestions. And he always told me that I was not willing to exchange enough to be really good. Even though I won some fights, Tony wanted me to be much more of a badass, but I wasn't so much.
Well, that's a critique sometimes of intelligent fighters.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I figured. I said I'm a little more of a boxer than you were, Tony, but what can I say?
Well, I mean, Tony was crazy enough to exchange with Sugar Ray Robinson.
Oh my God, the man of iron, I believe, was his nickname. So that's an indication.
But Al, just want to quickly get to some big stuff in the pro game. Canelo versus Makabu. Is that a competitive fight?
Well, I've seen Makabu fight a little bit. I can't say I've dug into him as somebody to really look at video and figure out what he's about. So I don't know. I mean, of course, part of it is there's the issue of Canelo going all the way up there. Can he do that? I mean, he started at 154. Might have even been 147 in his early pro fights. Yeah, so that's the case. So, that's a big way up. But he might be the kind of guy that could do it. And a lot of times when people move up, they very carefully look for who they think is the right person. I'm sure they went through that vetting process, and maybe that speaks to the fact that he could do well. I don't know. I guess that's one where we'll have to see. I mean, I think I'm like most boxing fans, to be honest. I'm a little bit disappointed that he bypassed everybody to go up. I have to be honest. It's his choice, and he can do it. And Canelo has certainly fought a lot of tough foes, and has fought a very good array of champions. So I'm not dissing on him, but when all is said and done, I wish he had fought a little closer to his weight class.
Curious with your analysis here, because you're so familiar. Floyd Mayweather, among others, feels Benavidez is the toughest fight out there for Canelo. You cover him ringside. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Because, which isn't to say that Canelo can't beat him, but David Benavidez is this rare combination of somebody who has power, is a really good combination puncher, has some defensive liabilities, and those are the things that Canelo would hope to capitalize on, but he's also a volume puncher, Benavidez. If you're going to beat Canelo Alvarez, the way to do it is in those rounds where Canelo Alvarez has maybe a lull spot here and there, you need to take advantage of that and land a lot of punches. Certainly Benavidez is capable of doing that. The big question in that fight is, will Benavidez's defensive liabilities be too much for him to overcome, or will he just simply outwork Canelo Alvarez and win rounds, or can he hurt Canelo? Canelo doesn't seem to be able to be hurt by anybody. Will Benavidez be the one to do that?
Does he have the best shot?
I think he's got the best shot at beating Canelo right now that I can think of. Anybody at those weight classes.
And lastly, Al, just real quick, gonna put it all in one. Terrence Crawford. How do you assess fights against Spence, Virgil Ortiz, and even Geronimo?
Yeah, well, right. Well, you hit the trio there, didn't you? And those are the people that we'd all love to see him in there. Any three of those would be interesting. everything to me. I mean, obviously, the Spence Crawford fight became kind of there's always a poster child for quote unquote fight for what the one that's not being made in boxing, that the casual press and the sports media that isn't always devoted to boxing uses as example. Oh, boxing's not making fights. That one was the one. But you rightfully said that those two other guys, those young guns, Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis, are they ready for Terence Crawford now? Is it premature? Should Crawford try and fight them before he's older and they're more mature?
Well, Ortiz is the mandatory.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the other thing, So in theory, he should be having that fight, and and obviously the Spence fight we're all interested in. I think any of those fights are good fights, and I'm going to take Terence Crawford at his word that he's interested in fighting the best. I think he is, and I think maybe some of the political boxing impediments maybe have been removed. We'll find out. And boxing business always is a part of things, though, right? No matter who you're promoted by, right? It's sometimes all about
what's... Is he the favorite over the field?
I think probably a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I think probably a little bit. I think if you would put him in against any of those people, I'm not a betting expert, I think he's probably going to go in a slight favorite.
Thanks so much, Al.
All right.
You've been working all night. Thanks, bro.
So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you will be updated for our upcoming video. Stay safe and God bless.